Well, well, well. If you know me at all, and of course you do, you've been watching us for a year, you know I've been waiting for this day for a full year. We are so excited to talk about Candy Digital, the official home for MLB NFTs, with our guest, Matt Novogratz. Matt, thank you so much for being here.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Excited to dig in.
Just gonna say, Greg, first time seeing the video. Like, how long were you in the lab with that?
Oh, listen. I go all out for Candy. Are you kidding? No, thanks to Candy for sending over some assets, some actual real videos. Matt, usually on this channel, we have someone who sends us incredible songs and we'll just cut together videos on the fly, but that one just blew everything out of the water immediately.
Nice. We're a professional organization here.
Absolutely. A little background on us. So we are Team Hold. We have been doing this now for a full year. Started with NBA Top Shot and the craze that was NBA Top Shot. But I have always been holding out for a comparable, if not better, NFT site for Major League Baseball. We finally got that with Candy. So we know we have some people here in the community that are excited about Candy and excited about baseball. But I don't think there's anyone as excited as I am to finally be in the MLB streets. So wanted to just kind of get a little bit of background on you and what your journey to Candy was to start off.
Yeah, so I've kind of been. I came over from Galaxy. Candy started as a JV between Galaxy and Fanatics, really, and then Gary V came in as well. I've been dealing with the kind of the sports and crypto crossroads for about 3 years, looking at from fan tokens to tokenization of sports memorabilia. So this really fell in my wheelhouse.
What's been the rollout for you guys? Because I know there's been so much excitement, like we've seen it in our Discord, but like being on your end of things, how has it been for you guys? Because I imagine just with how much traffic is coming your way and to roll it out for the first time, something like this, I mean, it must be pretty nuts over there.
It's been pretty awesome. I mean, baseball, it's such an icon. MLB is such an iconic brand. It's such tons of responsibility. I'm a huge baseball card collector, so it's been a journey.
Yeah.
What did it take you? What was the transition for you personally from being a baseball card collector? And I was a baseball card collector for a long time, got back into it just like everyone else a little bit in 2020 in the pandemic. So what was that like for you to switch from, I have so many baseball cards that I treasure, to now thinking towards NFTs in the digital future?
It was kind of one and the same. Like I never stopped collecting baseball cards. Just to me, it was just an enhancement of a different way to engage with baseball cards, really. So as I said, I never stopped. And my wife is like, "Are you still buying? Like, every week do we get a package from eBay? This is nonsense." So like to me, it's an extension, and I don't want to say it's a cooler version, but it's certainly an enhanced version.
Totally. I mean, my wife says the same thing. It was truly in the pandemic. It was just eBay packages coming. She's like, "Oh, what is this now? What did you get this time?" But no, it's so exciting to see it kind of still work in both ways, and what you guys have done so far has been awesome. So what I guess would love to know kind of what you're most excited about looking forward, and we actually should back up, and if anyone watching hasn't dabbled on Candy yet, a couple milestones have been hit so far. The very first obviously was the Stadium Series, which we'll get into in a bit, and then the first real pack drop came for MLB was MLB Icons in October, All-Star packs. And then, of course, Uncut Diamonds was the prospect set. Plays of the Day came along as well, which we were excited about during the playoffs. And Mike and I, of course, jumped in on pretty much every single one. So as we march towards the future, would love to know kind of what the next thing you're excited about is.
Sorry, I lost my camera there for a second. It's just doing more, right? Like we loved the All-Star set. It gave us, it was a nice sampling of some of the more popular players in MLB. Uncut Diamonds was awesome. I'm a huge Orioles fan, so anytime we got to feature Adley Rutschman, I'm into that. Just doing a broader set, and then the different derivatives of those sets, like micro sets, maybe tapping into some legendary players. Just really going. And then it's not just going to be the icons or the card series, right? It's going to be all sorts of different surprises that we're gonna be unveiling throughout the year.
It was pretty cool too to see, like in the icon set where for each, it's not just like the scarcity that is different between like a core, an uncommon, a rare, an epic, a legendary, right? Like the actual physical display, or physical is probably not the right word, but the display of the NFT itself is different, right? So whether it feels a little bit more like a traditional card versus like an actual play itself. I know, like Greg, you've talked about the Tim Anderson moment a few times, but that to me was pretty cool too. It was a little bit of a different spin because, you know, I've been familiar with Top Shot. I've seen like NFL All Day and UFC Strike and stuff like that. But that was like a cool spin on it.
Yeah, you know, we didn't want it to feel like just like a digital lottery ticket. Like you opened it up and all you did was check the rarity and the number.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted you to know that there was a different step up and a different story really being told with each level.
Mm. Yeah, it hit the spot for sure.
And one thing that I know that you guys have teased, or at least dropped little breadcrumbs about, is some kind of live or updating stats component on the back during the regular season, which
dynamic stats is something we're super excited about. Like in my mind, I just go back to being a kid and running down to look at the newspaper to see like what Cal Ripken did the night before to check where he was in the batting order, the batting title. And like now waking up and you can check your card and see it updating every morning. I think it's super cool.
Yeah. And especially to have like one from the season of something maybe historic happening, which, like, using Cal Ripken as an example, right? If this was there then and it's his like record breaking year or whatever, I don't know, like to be able to monitor that in real time for a moment or a card from that specific season is pretty exciting as well.
Yeah, you know, like that's the thing. Like you talk about cards and like why, like I don't think baseball cards are going anywhere, but the technology that we have that we can add to these, like if that's what's important, and that's what we're going to keep tapping into, and it's going to be those dynamic stats. It's going to be the evolving nature of what we can do with the technology that allows us to do. Like that's what we're excited about.
Yeah. To me, especially the dynamic stats just screams like some kind of fantasy component, or the ability to have some kind of fantasy element, whether it's a daily lineup or whether you're, you know, using these cards to build a team for the full season with your friends. Is there anything that you guys have in mind in that sense? Is that on the table at all?
I think you're onto something, but it's too early to talk about. But I do think there's certainly a role that these cards can play in that element, in that world, right? Like it, as you said, like it kind of has every component one would need to pull that off.
That's pretty exciting. And I want to say too, like I know there was a couple of people in the chat who maybe are finding out about this for the first time. And we're asking like is it affiliated with Dapper? No, it's not. Candy Digital is their own entity. And if not, can I use US dollars to purchase packs? Yes, you can. And that is how I did it. So we have some links, I know, in our show notes that you'll be able to check out after the fact if you want to go take a look. But it is a pretty like easy, smooth interface. And it's I'm sure we'll share a screen in a little bit and kind of peruse around.
Oh, we'll share screen right now, baby.
There we go. I was trying to tease it for you.
No, I was waiting for it. I congratulations on the marketplace. Like that, we've had a couple shows where we've walked through it and we've watched it in real time. Mike and I were live when it actually launched and watched things fly off the shelf and frantically tried to buy stuff ourselves while still being live and talking.
Me too.
But we one thing we keep coming back to is that this thing has not crashed or gone down at all, which is actually an incredible feat considering some of the other projects we've seen when they've launched. So really smooth. We love the experience on this, and we know there's obviously a ton more in the works. But congratulations on it.
Thanks. Yeah, we're super proud, and we're going to continue to roll out features in the marketplace. It'll keep evolving, but we're really excited and proud of where it is right now. I mean, it's holding up, and it's getting a lot of activity. We've done about $6 million in volume in 2 weeks, which is, you know, we're excited about that number. And you know, our community is pumped. We have an awesome community. You know, baseball fans, like I think to be a baseball fan in America, it's in itself as a community, right? It's a long season. You've got a lot to talk about. It doesn't make a lot of sense to some people. And then when you collect the community, you add the community elements to the NFT world, it just seems even more, just a more tight knit group. So it's awesome. We've had tons of support. As I said, we're very excited with where we are.
One of the things too, and we've talked about this both with NBA Top Shot and some other projects as well. One of the fun things about the community that I think it was almost unexpected for me on my end is that everybody, if the project wins, everybody wins. So there's this, it's kind of easy to gel together in a way that we all have the same goal here. And maybe the way Greg collects is different from the way I collect or you collect, whatever. But we're all collectively trying to find success together. And I think that it really makes it for a positive environment, which again, coming from either the fantasy world or the comedy world, that's usually not the case. It's usually a little bit more competitive and cutthroat. It's been pretty cool to experience that.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. I mean, it truly is like if the project wins, the community wins. And it is, we do see that, like everybody's incredibly supportive of each other.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, has there been anything like with the rollout that was like an unexpected hurdle, or like and it doesn't have to be like, oh, the behind the scenes was chaos, but like just kind of like a challenge that arose like as everything was unfolding?
You know, everything's just harder. It's all harder than it looks. Not that that's a surprise, but it took a lot of hard work. But no, I think, look, all things considered, where we are from where we started, call it a year ago to now, like it's been a journey, but I think we couldn't be in a better place.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I want to actually ask about, obviously we've been talking about the icons and how great they are and the different tiering of that. But one thing that I find fascinating is the play of the day. I think that as you probably know, like the tops now, I would dabble into that, where something from the night before you could buy as a baseball card and have shipped to you the next day ultimately. So play of the day is like the enhanced version of that, which excites me because as a fan, when I'm watching next season, I'm going to have trouble not buying every single day. So would love to know kind of how that came about. And then, you know, just the process, I guess, of getting that to fruition.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So the process, MLB actually selects it. So don't yell at me if there's too many Dodgers plays. And it's something poetic about play of the day and every day of the Major League Baseball season, because it's so long. And it's this journey. And like when you go back and you look and you see all these plays woven together, and it tells a really cool story. And like, I hope a lot of people try to collect one from every day of the season. Like that in itself will be just a really cool collector's item. But yeah, like, and I think, you know, it's not everything doesn't have everything that happens isn't necessarily a moment maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But this is chosen by Major League Baseball as the kind of key moment of the day. So I think as I said, I think it tells a really cool story.
Yeah.
And it's cool. And it's really cool technology that, you know, if something happens the night before and we have it in a cool cube and we're selling it 12 hours later. So
that's one of the, you know, to give Greg a little shout out, since when we first started last February and first like found Top Shot, he was like, this is going to be so cool. At some point, you're going to see something happen that night. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for that to get on whatever platform, whatever sport you're watching. And to see this roll out, especially for it to roll out during the playoffs, where you're only seeing like max 3 games a day in the early rounds, right? Like it's the moments that really stick out, and to be able to have access to that the next day. Yeah. Like this moment, I remember when he hit that, we're like, okay, that's going on the site tomorrow. Like it's a fun game to play.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be instant iconic moments, which are super cool. Right. And you get to, you know, jump on them right away.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome just diving a little bit deeper to like the NFT space of watching the mint counts on those too. And you don't have to confirm, but if they do stay open edition, at least for anyone to buy that wants them, to see, you know, which moments, because there's value in the ones that people aren't buying too. Like if you scoop one that doesn't necessarily have the same mint count as a milestone moment, it becomes more rare. So by design,
that was actually one of the more interesting things we did. You mentioned the Stadium series. Like it caught me off guard that, you know, the Trop was our least selling stadium, but it turned out to be our most valuable because it was our least selling. So to your exact point, yeah, it's always keeps you moving.
Speaking of the, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say, like, with the play of the day, was that kind of fun for you all to see? Because I think Greg introduced it to me maybe a couple weeks into it, or a week into it, maybe. Was it crazy for you guys on your end to see all of a sudden the min counts kind of flying up? Because it started like pretty small early on. And then I think like one of the first ones was like out of 400 or something like that. And then by the end of it, I mean, it was cooking.
Yeah, no, you know, felt good. Felt like we were onto something. And I think, look, it'll be interesting to see the season too, right? As the season kind of ebbs and flows and you get into the dog days of summer, how's it going to work? I think we'll keep it interesting. It's going to evolve a bit this year from last year, so it'll be surprising. there'll be some collecting challenges and different elements that I think people will be very into, to keep it interesting. But yeah, it'll be fun to see a full season ahead.
I'm trying to find. I wanted to flex my favorite play of the day that I have, but I have too many. I can't even find it. I was able to despite being a Red Sox fan, I was able to get the Arozarena stealing home in the first round.
I think that's the best one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best one. But I was able to time it perfectly, and I got the last mint, so I got the perfect serial. It was like 409 out of 409, or 706 out of 706. There it is. So never been happier. I'm gonna flex two things. I'm gonna flex that, and then speaking of the Stadium Series, this is something that I was eyeing for months, and I missed the original mint, and then eyed this on OpenSea for months, and finally pulled the trigger. And I think, as a Red Sox fan, you'll understand why it's important. But scooped number 34, and this was, I think, 5 or 6 days before his Hall of Fame announcement for Big Papi. But this is one of those that I'm gonna treasure forever, just because. As this marches forward, I think it's a super cool set. And then to have number 34, the spiritual jersey number.
That's fantastic. The Stadium Series, I love. I thought it was a really cool project. It was fun to work with each of the teams, and it was fun to see like different, the fan bases, kind of get to know them and introduce Candy to fan bases one by one.
Yeah. I know there's also been breadcrumbs about utility for the Stadium Series. Is there anything that you guys have announced or have in the works for that set?
We are working on something. We'll have something to announce soon. But just in general, like, we're going to constantly look back to old projects and see how we can add utility. We're not going to forget anything and leave it in the past. We've got about 90 people here now that are constantly thinking in ways to kind of spin new things up and evolve what you currently have.
Has that been the hardest thing, is just not sharing information? Because I know, like, you have to be ready to go before we put it out. And then you've got everybody and their family member being like, when utility, when roadmap, when money.
Because like with this, as you guys know, with the world of NFTs, like, it's like dog years. Everything that you think, you have no sense of time anymore. So it feels like you're waiting on something for 2 weeks. It feels like 2 years. It's definitely hard, especially the packs. I mean, as a kid and as a human that has never stopped collecting baseball cards, I was so excited to open those packs.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I still don't understand how people are not ripping these packs. It's amazing.
Yeah, Greg, feel free to talk about that.
Listen, it is the hardest thing I've done in a long time. So I was able to get a good number of packs in that first drop, and we opened 5 or 6 on the stream together back in October. But I still have a couple, and I every day watch the total allotment go down, and I know there's legendaries still out there. And I think I haven't checked this morning, but I think at least the big 3 are still out there, being Trout, Tatis, and Vladdy. And by legendary, we mean the 1 of 1 all-star icons. So it's tough. It's not easy, but it's
amazing. Those uncut pack, the unopened packs are like turning into like 86 Fleer basketball packs. Like it's amazing. And I mean, I don't know if the Trout laying around there. It's a lot of pressure to sell or to rip or to, I don't know, just sit there. I think we might not get much movement for a while.
I can't fathom selling one, because I would not be able to sleep knowing if someone pulled the Trout in there, or even any legendary. But then I also can't fathom opening one and like cutting down on this like tiny stack that I have of them. But man, I have vowed to open at least one on the show. So when I do open one of these, and I will open one, it will be live on the show. We will hype it up.
Nice.
But it's tough. But it's so fun. It's so fun to like just play that game.
Yeah, it was one of the cool things too, and with the marketplace opening like a couple months after. Oh, there we go. We got live update on how many unopened packs. A couple months after, was trying to, like, nobody really knew what they had yet. Like, because all of the players in this first pack were good. That was another thing that I thought was brilliant. Instead of being like, here's the full set of the entire year, they're like, let's get a little taste of this, and we'll get you players that even relatively new baseball fans know of. I thought that was so smart. But to not really know what you had, and then all of a sudden the marketplace opens up, and you're like, oh my God, look at what's happening right now. Was pretty great. It was a fun experience.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. And look, I think it'll be interesting too once we have like the larger set and see. Like I thought the people collecting the full set. I thought because it was such a small release, I thought it was going to take months for someone to complete. It was complete. Someone completed it in like 20 minutes as soon as the marketplace opened, which was shocking. It'll be really fun to see what happens when, it's a broader set.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, you have, especially because everyone has their own theory for how things play out, which is what makes this so fun. Like everybody's got their own game theory on how to collect, and then they share that in the Discord. So then that theory is adopted by a lot of people, and they're like, "We got to collect this whole thing because if you collect the whole thing, you get your own baseball player. Like they will like live with you.
You get drafted.
You get drafted."
Well, look, we want to be conscious of your time. I know we've been here about 20 minutes, so we can wrap up, but I wanted to ask just 2 more quick questions. The first being, what is your favorite, whether it's play of the day, moment, all-star icon, what's your favorite one on the site? And then what player are you most excited to add to the roster at some undisclosed time in the future?
Well, starting with that, there were some key missing players from the All-Stars that Bryce Harper wasn't an All-Star. I think that he's going to be incredibly anticipated. Wander also, I think he's going to be a big one in the set. As I said, I'm an Orioles fan, so like I collect everything. Adley, super excited about that. And then I like everything we've put out so far, but I'm a packs man. As a guy that still buys unopened packs of, I buy unopened packs of Garbage Pail Kids. So I love packs. So it's going to be a fun year.
Yeah, I'm excited. Awesome. And you teased a little bit, and we will make you pick them, but like the idea of having these like minor or micro sets, I think you called them. And I'm like, there's just so many different types of plays in the game that will stick out. I'm very excited to see like what that rollout will look like as we're midway through the season. I think that's going to be a really fun thing. Another way to micro collect. I'm excited about.
For sure.
It's gonna be fun.
Cool. Well, Matt, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time. And this is only the beginning. We're excited to watch this grow.
Thank you guys. Thanks a lot.
I'll let you know when I rip my pack.
Yeah, please do.
Join
spiritually.
We will.
Yeah, we got it.
Awesome. Have a great day.
All right, you too, man. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
That was great.
That was awesome. I mean, it just proves how much there is to come. Like, and we see it with Top Shot, but what Candy is doing and what is still left unopened, for lack of a better term, is is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I think so too. Fenny, I see your question too. I think you're already in the Candy Discord, but I would just jump in there and ping one of the mods would be my guess, and they can direct you in the right place. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. One thing we didn't talk about, which I feel like we could have, was like how much are they sweating this lockout right now?
Oh yeah, I can't imagine. Well, the question is, what can they do?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously that play of the day is out the window, but until it starts, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah, it'll be exciting for sure. And again, as like the leaks of the challenge or of a challenge coming out, and it's just been fun seeing the marketplace move around. It feels like it's steadying out now. Like I feel like it went. Someone's just screaming outside my apartment door. But we saw it skyrocket and then kind of dip back down, and now it seems to be leveling out. I think it's almost time for me to buy a Devers, Greg.
I think it is. I almost called it out when I was sharing screen. It was like 150.
Yeah, I think I've been looking at it for the last couple of days, and it's been like 150, 160 range. Let me
150.
See. That's what I gotta buy. I almost called it Dapper. I need to call it, like, is it Candy Balance? Candy? Do I call it? I get some candy,
some sugar.
Some sugar. That's pretty good. Yeah. I'm about to be sitting on a whole bunch after flipping one. Let's see, lowest, low to high. We're gonna get it right now. 150 for. All right, Greg. Do I go 150 for 394? 157 for 227? There's no real like good two digits.
Two digits.
Yeah.
I think that's
19. Yeah.
No, I mean, when I bought, the lowest two digit is 55 at $200. I feel like the one thing that I will come out on top on is just getting the two digit, because a lot of the prices where I bought and they skyrocketed, now they're kind of floating back down.
Yeah,
as to be expected. But I think I'll have come out with two digits, which will be the win.
Yeah,
I think you're fine just scooping the floor.
I'm getting it right now. I also want to say too, I feel like we were supposed to ask this question and I forgot, so I want to apologize to our international folk. But I remember Jamesy asked this about like when when do we open up to outside of the United States and Canada? And I know they've said in the Discord that it's been a process they're working on, and hopefully sooner rather than later. You know,
hopefully, yeah, and that's. I mean, as we saw with Top Shot, that's going to be such an incredible boost, and just for the fans out there, like Jamesy included, and Mihao, like that'll be exciting. Oh, is this it?
This is it, baby. Devers is here.
Let's go.
Devers is here, baby.
Let's go. What is your collection look? You still have quite a bit, right? You flipped a couple.
So I've only sold. Is there a way for me to look at my transactions without showing you guys everything? Let's see. Activity history, right? That'll do it. So here we go. We sold the Gallo, which probably too cheap, but I just didn't want Joey Gallo and wanted it before it dipped more. Aaron Judge for $13.69. Nice. So those are like my two recent sales, and then everything else, mostly like plays of the day. We talked about the Vladimir Guerrero, which ended up being stupid. But my collection's still looking pretty nice. Still got Torkelson.
The CJ Abrams rare.
This bad boy right here.
That's
Juan
a keeper.
Soto, 69.
69, baby.
Yeah, so we still get a couple of uncommons, the real Muto rare. We've got a wanker.
You got two Whit Merrifields?
Yeah, why? You need one?
Well, listen, do you have an Altuve? Not that you want one, but for the
think
sake of finishing a set.
I don't think I do have an Altuve. Let's see. Wanker. I got to stop doing that. We got Max Scherzer 101. Look at, I should have, our man, Matt, I should have told him I had the Cedric Mullins uncommon. The perfect half cereal.
Yeah. Here, based on you got two Scherzer cores.
Mm-hmm. Wait, do I have three packs though? No, that's not right. That's two, right? Is that one just not like? Okay, yeah.
What if we worked out a little two player trade?
All right, so what's the trade?
So just going off doubles that I have, duplicates I have two Jose Ramirez, who's no one to balk at. Young Jose, most electric player on the Indians, on the Guardians.
The Guardians.
The Guardians. And
do you guys get a cut of that?
We should. We better. And then Altuve for a little Scherzer Whit Merrifield action.
Do I have two Scherzers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm down. Of course I'm down. Rock and roll. You do not need ETH. You can use card. Actually, I don't think you can use ETH yet. I think that's something they're working on, but it's only card right now. Oh, handy setting.
I just realized I don't even have a 2-digit Devers, so we're in the same boat.
There we go.
That was a little too expensive for me, so 170.
I am excited. I mean, this is totally like spitballing and guessing, but once they release the full set, I will be like just trying to, in the same way that I have like the Nuggets set, I would try to get the Red Sox set and just go from there. And like, who knows? Maybe nothing comes of it, but I guarantee at some point, it's used in some fashion.
You know what else I'm excited about, which I think he very, very vaguely hinted at, or I just imagined it, so I don't take this as word, but adding like a historical element to all this, especially like play of the day. Yeah, and maybe that's an off-season thing, but
would love that.
God, like there are so many moments.
Ken Griffey Jr. home run.
Yeah, I said this last time. I followed. Shout out to Daily David Ortiz home run on Instagram, which I followed, and so I just get served Big Papi home runs in my Instagram feed.
A great follow.
Yeah, but think about how many iconic and amazing moments there are.
Yeah,
to be brought back.
I don't know why I didn't think of this until you said it too, especially since Top Shot's doing something similar. And he didn't confirm it. He just said you're onto something there. But this whole idea of a fantasy game, I don't know why I hadn't thought of that, but that's brilliant.
Yeah, and I mean, what we've seen with Top Shot even is like some of the community creations are just as great and cool, and the way that Dapper and Top Shot supports them. I'm assuming Candy would do the same. Mm-hmm. So like, just assembling your squad and having some kind of fantasy component would be amazing.
Exactly. Look at this. Yeah. Griffey epic. We got a number 34 Grand Slam versus Detroit. Torrey Hunter going over the wall. Hell yeah.
Jamesy.
Speaking my language, Jamesy.
Anyway. All right.
Greg, I know you're gonna get to work soon. Anything else we need to chit chat about?
No, thanks for loving the video. Went ham. Oh, we didn't even, I mean, I totally meant to talk about this, but obviously if you guys follow the Twitter, you probably saw the news, but the Ohtani 100K, the one of one legendary, which I screamed was a steal, and I still believe is a steal. And what's even more of a steal is his epic jersey number serial number 17 went for $36K.
Wow.
I'm acting like I could have afforded either of these. I most certainly can't, but I still think both of those you'll see a higher resale within a year or two.
Listen, I would love to have an Ohtani legendary, but would 100% flip it for $100K right now.
It'd be tough not to as non-millionaires.
Yeah.
But that has the potential of selling, if we believe in Candy in the future, which we obviously do, that has the potential to hit those like Mike Trout rookie card numbers, and being a 1 of 1, like a guaranteed 1 of 1.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's exciting stuff. I'm sure. Hopefully, the baseball lockout ends soon, and we can get cooking for some spring training, because it is February now. That's what people supposed to be reporting soon.
I know. Football's almost over.
Yep.
Then we just got to get through June, and then it'll be baseball time, baby.
It'll be baseball season.
Morning marketplace. Get ready.
There we go. Get ready. Set your alarm.
I'll be up at 6 every day.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on, everyone. Thanks for joining. That was obviously awesome. We can, if you didn't see it, rewatch it on the replay. But yeah, we're excited for more.
Yeah, we out. We can do this before we get out of here. Do you have a World Series pick, Greg?
Braves and